Question. I keep hearing that if you look at your experience, you will notice that awareness or consciousness has two qualities, one being aware and the other being present. Could you explain this further? As we mentioned earlier, the difference between consciousness and awareness is that, as Itzhak Bentov said in Stalking the Wild Pendulum, there are 17 little tiny gaps between each second. The consciousness appears out of that gap. The awareness is that from which the consciousness appears from. To say that consciousness is always conscious or aware or present, or to say that awareness is always aware and always present, is actually taking on and looking at awareness or consciousness from a position or a point of view. So consciousness appears on awareness. Awareness is the gap from which consciousness arises or consciousness appears. To say that consciousness is always conscious or awareness is always aware and present requires a superimposition. In other words, it's a point of view, an awarer, or a consciousnesser, or an experiencer, superimposing that quality called present, awareness, always aware, consciousness on the absolute nothingness, which is prior to awareness itself. The absolute nothingness actually contains and holds the awareness. The absolute nothingness contains and holds the awareness. This is why the absolute in the Upanishads, it would say, quote, the absolute is beyond all form and beyond all attributes. Presence, awareness, consciousness, being present, always being aware, is an attribute that is superimposed on the absolute nothingness. So in this way, the experience of presence is a resonance or a vibration that originates, in quotes, from the movement which forms the vibration, which forms what you call the experience of presence. To say, I am aware, or are you aware, or I am presence, or it is presence, always requires an I, an experiencer, a knower, a wearer, a consciousnesser. That's why Maharaj always stressed that the absolute is prior to awareness and prior to consciousness.